Hello, history nerds. Today, I thought we would come to a small cemetery in, sorry about the wind. This is in a rural town just outside of Sydney in New South Wales called Picton. The population now in Picton is give or take about 5,000 people, so it's a lot bigger than it was in the 19th century, and it's a lot more connected to the city now, and there's a lot of people who have immigrated here, so there's all sorts of cultures that live here. It doesn't really look much like a little rural town anymore, but it still has some facets of the old days, and this is one of them. This is St. Mark's Anglican Church, and this is one of two of the main cemeteries in Picton, and it's really beautiful here. So I thought we'd have a stroll through and have a look. Now, Picton was established in about 1820, and a lot of these tombstones date back to that time, or at least the mid-19th century. So you've really got some beautiful old Victorian sort of designs, head marker designs. Wow, I never noticed that one before. I've been to this cemetery a few times because I live close by. Look at that, is that a dollar sign? I don't know, that's very interesting. A lot of these are very hard to read now because they've been through floods, probably fires, and just age. The more expensive ones do a little bit better, I think. The ones that are made out of marble. So you can tell we're not very far from the edge of town or from the edge of a more bustling town. Here's a family. A family is interred here. Skillet. Oh, that one I never noticed either. So Barrington John Skellett accidentally drowned at Malden, so that's just a couple of kilometers from here. 14th of November, 1904, age 17 years. So Picton has a lot of areas of water, like natural pools and things like that. So that, like, it used to be a quarry. So there's a lot of areas here, actually, even though it doesn't seem like it some days, where you can go swimming. So I wanted to come and have a look at this family really quickly. This is the Fairley family. The father's name was William Fairley, and he actually immigrated to Australia from, I think it was County Tyrone in Ireland when he was 10 years old, and I believe that was 1855. So this is an Irish family, and I was looking at the story. This marker here is dedicated to William and Letitia Fairley's son. His name was John, and this was interesting to me. It says he was accidentally shot July 27th, 1890. He was 20 years old. And I had a look at that. So John was 20, and he was hired as a teacher up in the north part of the state in a town called Tinterfield, which is also a rural town. Would have been much more rural back then, but that's a long hike from Picton. So his parents lived in Picton, and he was a teacher in Tinterfield, and he was out with his pistol one day, and he was, I don't know, just shooting, target practice, whatever you did back in 1890. There was a story about a couple who were thrown from their carriage who passed away. And John Fairley, while he was shooting his pistol, one of his students came by and was showing him the story in the newspaper about this couple that had died. And John went to put the pistol from one hand to the other so that he could read the story in the newspaper, and the gun discharged and he accidentally shot himself. He was 20 years old. I find that really sad. And then he came back, his body was brought back to Picton by train, because in the 1850s, Picton had a train station. So his family brought him back to Picton, where he was buried. And from what I read, his tombstone is made out of Italian marble. And it has all these interesting symbols that were very popular in the Victorian period, which was a little bit morbid in some ways. But you see on the side of his grave, there's a scroll that is completely empty, and that's supposed to represent his life that was never told. Very sad.